Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, April 27th. It is 6:26 right now. Market's going to open in about 4 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick, and then we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. Just got a couple of things here to update, and we should be good to go. All right. A few more things here. All right, perfect. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. More things here to update, and we should be good to go. All right, guys. Morning, everybody. Today's Thursday, April 27th. It is 6:28 right now. Market's going to open in about 2 minutes. We got a few more moments for people to make their way in, and then we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. All right, perfect, guys. Morning, everybody. Let's see who's here so far. Morning, Van Hartwig. Morning, Surin. Morning, CJ. Morning, Nick. Morning, guys. Morning, Glenn. Morning, AR. Morning, everybody. Morning, Jamie. All right, guys. So looking over at US30, let me take a look at the news real quick. So we had news over here this morning. April 27th, Thursday. We had news over here at 5:30, 7:30. We have a lot of news today, actually. Well, kind of. So we had some more news over here at 5:30. I'm going to mark that up real quick. News right there. And then we have more news coming up over here at 7 and 7:30. At 7 and 7:30. Hey, Satya, morning. Morning, Martha. Morning, Gactive. Morning, guys. All right, market is opening in a few seconds. And there goes opening bell, guys. So I'm going to go and mark this up right here as opening price. I'm going to go and check out my FX book real quick. Let's see. Nick's asked me if I took that last trade. No, I didn't take any trade before. There's one right here, right? Yeah, it was too close to open. It did hit though. So you can see here I went straight TP, but I did not take that trade. It's too close to open. If I do take a trade, it's going to be around like 6:20 latest. Because I need about like 10 minutes for it to play out. You know, sometimes it goes sideways for a bit, and I wouldn't want to get caught in the spike. So that's just a little too close to comfort. So I definitely did not take that trade, Nick. It looks like it would have played out though, so it would have been a good one. All right, so we have news at 8:30, and that's about it. 8:30, 9:15. So we had a lot of news today. We got news at 7, 7:30, 8, and 8:30. So basically every 30 minutes there's news coming up. Not a huge deal, but something to keep in mind. All right, there's a possible entry right here for a buy, but does not look like it's going to close out. So we'll see real quick. Okay, let's do a full analysis of the chart real quick and see where everything's sitting. So right now, currently for fundamentals are currently up 93 points for the Dow, up 22 points for the S&P, up 55 points for the NASDAQ, unchanged for the Russell 2K, and negative 4% for the VIX. Looking over here at retail sentiment is currently 61% short. So it's not a very strong bias, but we do have a bullish bias for retail sentiment. Fundamentals right now are currently bullish neutral. And the technicals over here are pretty much short term is bearish neutral. You can see here on the 1 minute prices below the pivots. Trend meters red, same with the 5. The 10 minute over here is actually bullish. 30 minutes neutral. 1 hour is bearish, and the 4 hour is bearish as well. So it's a pretty mixed up bias for today at the moment specifically. We have a possible entry right here coming up. If this candle closes with the buy signal. Fine, just update this real quick. So we're looking for a buy signal here to close. If the buy signal closes and price breaks and closes past pivots 1 and 2, then there's going to be a possible entry right here. It does not look like it's going to happen yet, but there may be a possible entry on this next candle right here. Let's take a look at the technicals again. We have a few more moments for possible entry right here. So let's go to the 1 minute. 1 minute is bearish. 5 minute is bearish. 10 minute is neutral. So it's kind of hard. Looking at the overall bias here, we do have a bullish bias, technically to some extent, because the fundamentals here are now they're above 100 points. Sentiment here is also bullish. So if we get a buy signal here that closes above the pivots, we'll probably take this entry. But you got to make sure that the candle actually closes. So just give it a few moments for it to actually close. It's kind of, yeah, it's not a smooth move because this candle right here, I'm looking at where the candle opened. The candle's technically above the blue pivot already. So I don't know if there's going to be an entry here. Okay, so there's no entry here, guys. There may be one right here, though. So let's see how this ends up closing. Some unusual movement here with regard to the candles because this candle here kind of spiked up a little bit. It looks like it may have closed above the blue pivot already. It's not really looking too good. Check the zone over here real quick. So the rejection actually looks fine on pretty much all the time frames except the 4th. Got about 10 seconds left here. You gotta wait for the candle to actually close. It's about 4 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. So the candle just slightly missed the close. I actually took it, guys. So I actually took it because I was waiting for the candle to close. I thought it closed, but then it closed a little late. I took it. So I took the trade and I made profit on it, but I'm not going to count it as an official trade because there's no official trade here. So I'm not sure if anyone else tried to take that with me, but I was waiting for this candle right here to close. It ended up disappearing at the very last second, but I was already in the position. The blocks are just, I mean, the price is just kind of choppy right here. You can see how price is a bit choppy and blocky where it'll look nice and then it'll just disappear at the very last second. So I ended up taking the trade. I made my profit on it, but I'm not going to count it as an official trade. Of course, MFF gave me half profit, but whatever. Just take a screenshot of my profits real quick right here. It's all good. So there's no entry for us to take right now, guys. The only reason I was really convinced to take that buy was because of the bias. The bullish bias is a little strong. So that's why I took the trade there. Here's my profit so far. Now we just got to wait for another entry to come up. Here's Kenny's profits for the day so far. Kenny's currently up 1,510 for the day. Nice work, Kenny. So solid profit right there for Kenny. I'll take individual screenshots of my profits right now. There's no entries for us to take at the moment, so it's completely fine. But let me just go ahead and take a screenshot. So let me go over here real quick. I want to see if I got my green strip. I did get the green strip. Okay, perfect. All right, so there's no other entries for us right now. I'm just taking a screenshot of my profits, guys, individually. Looks like Dijon took the trade earlier. Maria took it too. So it looks like some of you guys here actually got into that buy with me. It looked like a good trade. I mean, everything lined up, and then also it just looked smooth. And then I ended up getting caught in the position after it closed. So that happens sometimes, guys. You know, you're always going to make mistakes like that, or you're going to jump the ship or jump the gun at least a few, a split second early. And it happens, but it's all good. I made profit on it. So here are my profits. So far. All right. So there's no entries for us right now, guys. We're still looking for that possible buy entry to come up, but we need price to pull back down before we can get that. So here are my profits so far. Here's my main account, FTMO number one. You guys can see the green strip here for my full TP. Total profit of 1,620 for the day. So that's solid right there. Here's my FTMO number two, total profit of 1,720. Here's my MFF number one, 560, my MFF number two, 560, and lastly, my MFF number three, 560 as well. We have some more profits over here from Kenny. Kenny, total profit of 2,230 for the day. Nice work, Kenny. We've got Chow over here, total profit of 820. Solid work right there, Chow. So it looks like a good handful of you guys took the trade with me. Dijon over here as well, full TP right here, total profit of 1,010. Typically, if I enter a trade like that and it doesn't close out completely, I would close out early, but it went straight to my TP, so I didn't really have time to pull out early from that one. Yeah, so that's about it. Thanks, Nick. I saw your message earlier, but I forgot to respond. So Nick over here told me, what earnings are being released and the sentiment. So good luck to you, Nick. I know you need 2 trades for the day so that you can get your price back into profit, or your account back in a profit. So good luck. There's no entry right here, guys. We currently have a buy signal, but there's no lower low. So there's no entry for us to take right here at the moment. There was a V1 variation here, though. I totally missed it. I don't know if you guys saw that, but there was a V1 variation right here. Double body rejection. There's no bias though. So looking over here at the technical bias, or I mean, I guess there is a bias because there's retail sentiment and fundamentals. Quick profit right there. So I don't know if anyone caught that V1 variation, but there was a V1 variation that just came up right there. Double body, pending buy signal. Overall bias is bullish. So reason for this to be bullish here is because the fundamentals are above 100 points. Retail sentiment is 61% short, and the technicals over here are a bit mixed, but for the most part, they are bullish across the board. So bias right there is solid. Let's see, looks like Maria took the trade there. So Maria, I don't know what happened to Maria. I don't know why you got a negative, Maria. You got your TP too. It's weird. Let's see, your price was 33,431. I don't know how your TP is below your entry point. It's crazy. Yeah, I don't even know how that happened, Maria. Because it shows that your TP here is lower than your entry point. You took a buy, which is so weird. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. Oh, you said slippage. Okay. Yeah, Maria said terrible slippage. Are you on FTMO, Maria, or are you on a different broker? It's weird. I don't know how your TP was below your entry point. Yeah, I'm not sure, Maria. Unfortunately, you got caught in that, but I don't really have. Did you use the quick trade manager, Maria, or did you manually input your TP? Because if it's a quick trade, so you use the DOM, right? That's right, Maria. I'm assuming it's slippage then. You probably caught that spike. Like before it spiked, it just filled you in kind of late. Okay, if you're using the depth of market, what I could see could have happened was that you entered the trade and then it spiked up. When you entered it, it just executed late, like basically past your TP, which is crazy. I've never seen that happen before, but unfortunately happened to you. It's all good, Maria. The good thing is that you just lost like, $10. It's not really much. So you have one more trade and it'll bounce right back. Let's see. Satyam said lower low breakout worked for me. Took it 2 and happy 2 wins. Double wick below, so we took it 2. Nice, Satyam. So Satyam actually took the V1 variation down here. Yeah, Satyam actually caught this one right here and then roll that up. Solid work, Satyam. All right, we may have a new low here getting established, guys. You can see right here that it's currently pending. We'll see if it ends up holding. All right, so we have another possible entry right here, guys. We have a lower low right there. Price breaks and closes past pivots 1 and 2 here. Then we may have a possible entry for us to take. All right. So if we get a buy signal that breaks and closes past the pivots 1 and 2 right here, then possible entry for a buy. But again, guys, you guys got to wait for the candle to close. I know I made a mistake on the last trade, but it's all good. We'll see if we can catch one over here. About 10 seconds left. There's no buy signal pending yet. All right, so there's no entry there, guys, unfortunately. This is actually a V2 variation. I'm not sure if anyone is watching. It looks like it's going to hit 2. This is a V2 variation. The reason for this being a V2 is because we have a low over here and we have a strong green candle right next to it. So this is considered a V2 variation. Not in the position, but I was waiting for this to close with a buy signal so that we can take it as a high level momentum scalp. So it's all good. There's no entry for us here. But yeah, if you guys are familiar with the V1, V2, V3 variation, there's different types of entry points that could be taken. One second, guys, I'll be back. All right, guys, I'm back. There's no entry for us to take here yet. Still looking for some setup here to come up. So let's take a look at the overall bias again. So let me check the fundamentals. Looking over here at the fundamentals are currently up 127 points. So the fundamentals right now are currently bullish. This is going to indicate to take a buy here. The Dow's currently up 127 points, S&P's up 24 points, NASDAQ's up 96 points, Russell 2K is up 4 points, and the VIX is currently down 5%. Looking over here at retail sentiment is currently 61% short. So this indicates that 61% of retail traders are currently selling right now. So you typically want to do the opposite and buy. So with that said, we currently have a bullish bias here for retail sentiment, bullish bias for the fundamentals. Looking over here on the technical side, we currently have a bullish bias, or not really, it's pretty much neutral across the board right here for nice. I took that V1, the V2 variation, guys. That was kind of what I was focused on right there. I took the V2 variation I just mentioned to you guys right here. Obviously, I didn't call that as an official trade, but this right here is a V2 variation. I mentioned that this is a V2 variation because we had a lower low right here, and it was followed by a strong green candle. So again, if you guys are new here, or if you guys are old members and you guys don't remember the variation strategies, I'm starting to identify them because they go hand in hand with the high-low momentum scalp. So the V2 variation right here, confirm overall bias. We had a bullish retail sentiment, bullish fundamentals, bullish to neutral technicals. We had a high-low right here. We confirmed that the low was a red candle, and then we confirmed that the following candle was a strong green candle. So we had that right there, V2 variation straight to full TP. So I'm not going to count it as an official trade. I did give you guys a heads up that V2 is setting up right there. You know, if this is the case and the market starts to move kind of iffy like this, then we might just start incorporating you know, different strategies into the official strategies versus just the high-low momentum scalp. So I'm going to give you guys hints when these trades are coming up, but I'm not going to count them as official trades unless they are high-low momentum scalps, because this is what I told you guys that we're going to be focusing on. But, you know, as we get closer to summer, market's going to start to move sideways. So if that's the case, and we might have to incorporate a couple of different strategies like the V1 variation, V2 variation, regular high-low scalp, and the K2 SR rejection strategy, which is our ranging strategy. So take another screenshot of my profits right here. Profits are sitting pretty nice so far. Again, so here are my profits so far. There's still no entries, unfortunately, guys, because there hasn't been any setup here to really give us any possible entry for us to take. So we're just going to keep waiting for something here to play out. But yeah, there's my profit so far. I'm going to go and take a screenshot of my individual accounts while we wait. And then we'll see where the market takes us from there. All right, again, we have a pending buy signal here, but there's no entry for us. We need to have a lower low, breaking, closing past pivots 1 and 2. Looks like a lot of you guys here took this trade with me as well. So let me just take the screenshot of my accounts, and then we'll be good to go. Thought MFF was getting a little better, but they're not. It's still the same, getting half profit. All right, so here's my profit so far. So here are my profits so far, guys. Here's my main account with FTMO number 1. You guys can see the green strips right here. I let them run straight to full TP. Total profit of 3,860. This was the high-low momentum scalp that I got into, but didn't close as an actual entry. This one right here is a V2 variation. So both full TPs right there. 3,860 profit, all wins. Here's my FTMO number 2, total profit of 3,760, all wins here as well. Here's my MFF number 1, 1,330. MFF number 2, 1,330. And my MFF number 3, total profit of 1,330 as well, all wins. So not too bad so far. 2 straight wins. on this live session. One accident, one V2 variation, no official entries yet. So just established a new high right there. We'll see if price comes back down and provides an entry for a sell. But at the moment, there's just nothing for us to take right now specifically. Let's see. Sam said V1. Or so for this one right here is a V2, Sam. How you mentioned that there's no wick, you're right, because I mean you're right, but it's not the you're right by mentioning that there's no wick, but I think you have the requirements kind of off the top. There has to be no wick on the top side. So let me go over here real quick. I'll show you the criteria. So overall bias is bullish. Confirm the high low. There was a high low right here. Confirm the low is a red candle. So we have low right here with the red candle. Number 4, confirm the candle following the high low is a strong candle. No wick on top for sorry, this thing is wrong. I have to fix this right here. So what we mean by strong candle, this is supposed to say no wick on top for a buy, because this is a strong candle for a green, right? So like, for example, here, the V2 variation, this is a strong green candle. We're looking for a buy, so we want a strong green candle. Vice versa, if we're looking for a sell, you want to have a strong red candle with no wick on the bottom. So this right here is actually opposite. It's supposed to be no wick on top for a buy and then no wick on bottom for a sell, because that's what a strong candle is. A strong candle has to have no wick on the top side. So basically, it just has a full push in the other direction. I got to change that. I don't know what happened. I thought I fixed that a long time ago, but I think I just never fixed it. But I remember we went over this during a mentoring session, and I had to change it. But basically, so what I mean by strong candle is, so for example, right here, right, you have a red candle, and there's no wick on the bottom, right? So this is a strong red candle. This shows that there's no resistance down below, and price can continue pushing down. So you can see right here, no wick on the bottom, no wick on the bottom. Price continues to push down lower. Small wick right here on the bottom. Price continues to push, 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 and then vice versa for a buy. You can see when there's no wick on top, if you're just looking at basic price action, that means that there's no resistance. So price will continue pushing up higher. You have a wick right here, so kind of weakens a little bit, weakens, and then strong candle. So I just got to change that on the criteria. But this is supposed to say no wick on the top, because if there was no wick on the bottom, then that would just be a V1 like a double body, right? That's why it doesn't make sense, because if there's, so say for example, there was no wick right here and it was on the same level as a red candle, that'd be a V1 variation, because that'd be a double body rejection. So I just got to change this right here. So no wick on top for a buy. No wick on the bottom for a sell. Yeah, because if you do it the other way, that was just set up as, Sam, it's literally a V1 variation. Because if you have, so say for example, you have a top wick. Let me see if I can find a V1 variation. And don't worry, guys, there's no entry for us to take here, so you guys are not missing out on anything. Okay, so say for example right here. Let me just replay it, and I'm just going to show you an example so that it makes sense to you, because the requirements are just off. So looking over here at the V1 or the V2, sorry. See how this right here is a double body? The lows with a red candle, and then they're at the same level. So there's no wick on the bottom end. If that's the case where they're both like on the same level, that's just a V1 variation, right? So the other criteria just wouldn't make sense. That's why they have to be a little different. V1 is basically double body, double wick. V2 is a low with a red or high with the green, and then followed by a strong candle. So it just shows that, price is having a strong reversal. So yeah, sorry for the confusion there, but I forgot to change that criteria when we first came out with the specific strategy. Christian's asking, are we skipping red flags on the V1, V2 variations? Yes, technically you're supposed to. I know it's right here on opening price. You're supposed to. It's not necessarily required, but it's always going to be a good confluence to avoid the red flags. That's why we stopped doing those other strategies, guys. So the main reason why we stopped doing the V1, V2 variations is because there was red flags everywhere. So if you guys remembered before in the past, when we were looking for entries, like if there's a pivot scalp or something, like for example, I mean, there's a lot of examples here. Like basically, whenever price is touching one of the horizontal lines, which is going to be either the pink line, which is the news price, blue line, which is opening price, purple line, red line, which is sessions, you typically cannot take any trades at those areas because those are considered red flags. Those are areas to avoid. The reason why we moved over to the high level momentum scalp is because for a period, price was just in between the red flags the entire session. So there's literally no entries for us to take. So that's one of the main reasons why we shifted over to the high level momentum scalp, because the strategy works well even during news and other conditions. But yeah, technically for every other strategy, for the most part, you're supposed to avoid red flags, Christian, for the most part. See, CJ said he's in trade for the pivot scalp. So there's a pivot scalp that came up right here, guys, for a buy. Looks like CJ's still holding on to it. So he's up in profit about 700 pips right now. Super, super heavy. So nice work right there, CJ. Massive profits on your end right now currently. Might have a new higher high right here. See, question from Daniel. Daniel was asking if 645 was a high level momentum scalp or a high low scalp. Yes. So this right here would be a high low scalp. So there's a high low right there. Price broke and closed past the high right there, and that'd be a high low scalp. So guys, if you guys are not familiar with these strategies, just keep in mind that I covered pretty much all of these during the previous mentoring session. So yeah, Daniel, there's a high low scalp right there. If you guys are new here, or if you guys are old members and you guys just want to have a refresher on these other strategies that I've been mentioning, our main strategy that we're following during these live sessions is going to be the high low momentum scalp. But there are like a ton of other strategies that we've been looking at. There's been the high low scalp, which Daniel just mentioned. There was an entry right here, would have went straight to full TP. The entry that CJ is mentioning, the pivot scalp right here with his buy signal, it matched with the trend meter down below. The other one I took earlier, V2 variation, V1 variation. You guys can look at those on the website. So just go to our website, kodikaitrades.com, and then pull up your free access right here to have access to the videos. We have a possible entry right here for a sell, guys. I don't know if this here will close, but we do have a possible entry here. We have a higher high right there. And we'll see where this ends up going. All right, so we have a possible sell entry here. If we get a sell signal that breaks and closes past pivots 1 and 2, we have news right here as well, guys. So you might want to be careful. Yeah, thanks, Sam, for the heads up. It's too close to news right here. Typically, we avoid news. Typically, we just disregard news. But lately the news has been kind of crazy where it's been spiking around. So let me check the news real quick at 7. It's medium impact. So I'm probably going to hold off right now. News for that's going to be pending home sales, which is coming up in about 10 seconds, which is fine because there's no entry here for us anyways. All right, guys, here's the news candle right here. I'm going to go ahead and mark up news price. It's a little anticlimactic. I was expecting it to be a bigger push because it was medium impact news, but there's no news right here specifically pushing price around. So we do have news right here. 7 o'clock, it was negative. It was a pretty big negative. So for pending home sales, the previous month was 0.8%. They're forecasting to be 0.6%. It's actually negative 5.2%. So there's not too many houses on sale right now. Or they're on sale, but they're not in contract. So the pending home sales actually dropped 5%. That's a pretty big drop for pending home sales. For whatever reason, the price is still going up right here. So this is why I don't base anything off news. because you can see price can do the complete opposite, even though you had, you know, confirmation that the news here was negative. This may be a late impact though. So what might happen here is price may be manipulated to the upside slightly, and then it'll come down super hard. So the correction back to the downside may be the case, but we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Price is still at this higher high. Let's see if price bounces off it, establish a double top, and then maybe come right back down. There's no confirmation yet, but there may be a possibility of it coming down from this point. And if it does become the case, this will be an entry for a high level momentum scalp. We have a higher high right here still established. We don't want this lower high to close up. If it does, then there's not going to be an entry for us, because we need it to be a higher high in order for us to have entry here. I want price to probably push up a little bit higher, push this higher high a little further back, and then from there look for possible entry. But if it ends up staying like this right here, then, you know, obviously no entry here. There's a possible V1 variation though setting up right here. Yeah, possible V1 variation that is setting up right there as a double body rejection. I'm gonna hold off on it though. I'm not gonna take it because the bias is bullish. So you can't really take sells here for V1 variations. If you guys remember the V1 variation, you have to trade in the direction of the overall bias. So V1 variation over here, this is the problem with a lot of people. They try to take variations in both directions, but they fail to realize that you have to follow step one. So if the bias right now is bullish, you can't take sells, even though you get a sell entry like that. You get a double body, but you still can't take the sell because it doesn't fit criteria. You need to be trading the overall direction of bias. So I would personally only be looking for bias here if I'm looking to take V1 variations. So just remember that, guys, because I see a lot of you guys take V1 variations in both directions. You're supposed to be taking them in the direction of the bias. The bias right now is bullish. If you look over here at fundamentals, they're currently up 200 points. So they're very bullish right now. Fundamentals are very bullish. Looking over here at retail sentiment is currently 64% short. So you definitely do not want to be looking for sells right now if you're looking for a bias. Because if you do that, you're basically going against the trend and you're going against the bias. So if you would have taken a sell here, you might have eaten a loss, right? Because price is now starting to swing to the upside where it's supposed to go. So for the most part, what we're looking for here is we're looking for price to retrace a little bit, and then we're going to look for it to correct back up. And that's where I'm going to be looking to take my buys. But at the moment, we don't have anything here yet. So I like these high level momentum scalps for possible sells, but it does not look like we're going to have anything here yet. So not really a big deal, guys. Here's a clean chart. Let me go ahead and mark up a couple of things here, just so that we have an understanding as to where price is likely to possibly keep pushing. Color that blue. Price has been pretty bullish though since open. $6.30 to $8. All right. All right, here we go. All right, so price is having trouble getting past that high right there. It wouldn't matter if we have a sell signal here because there's no higher high. So even if we do get a sell signal here and price breaks and closes past the pivots, there's not going to be entry for us because you currently don't have a higher high prior. We currently have this lower high. So this right here is not going to be an entry, guys. Just a heads up before that ends up closing. All right. All right, we have this pending sell signal right here. But again, guys, as I mentioned, there's no entry for us to take there because there's no higher high here. There's currently a lower high. In order for us to have an entry at that point, we need to have a higher high. I actually want price to pull back a little bit so that when price corrects back to the upside, we'll have possibility to take buy, any type of buy there. Maddie mentioned that retail sentiment went from 61 to 64. So you're going to see a lot of retail traders try to catch the top here. I think price will pull back a little bit, but then eventually it'll just swing right back up. I think this is where they want they're basically luring in some more retail traders. As you guys can see right here, it jumped up pretty heavy. It was 64 or 61% about like less than 30 minutes ago on open, and now it's down to 64. So a lot of retail traders are getting suckered into these sells right here. So I wouldn't bandwagon onto those sells, because I think eventually price is going to swing back up and stop everybody out. So that's kind of what I'm looking for here. There's no entry for us right here. Completely fine. I actually want the sell signal to close, because when the sell signal does close, we can probably start to look for some sort of V1 variation back to the upside. Or, you know, I mean, there's a lot of different opportunities here. So we actually want this to close here. Price drops lower. It's going to establish a lower low. And then from there, we can catch that on its swing right back to the upside. So I want this sell signal to actually close. We got 25 seconds left on this right here. Just waiting for that to play out. Once it does, we'll look for a possible swing back to the upside. Glenn mentioned, I've noticed these past few days, market tends to move sideways just before 8, then it reverses a few minutes after 8. Yeah, exactly, Glenn. That's called the mid-market reversal. So that typically happens a lot. Mid-market reversal happens between 9 and 10. So like, yeah, as you mentioned, it kind of goes sideways for a bit, and then it starts to move the other direction. And then you have that mid-market reversal between 9 and 12. Typically happens between 9 and 10, if not like a little after 10, but that's usually the setup that plays out. So the sell signal here, unfortunately, did not close out, guys. We need the sell signal here to close so we can start looking for the swing back to the upside, because momentum goes in opposite direction. So currently right here, we had a buy signal. We now have a pending sell signal. So in order for us to have another buy signal, we need this to continue pushing in that direction. So it's just a matter of patience right here, waiting for this to close out. It's not having much luck, but hoping it closes out soon. We have about 10 seconds left on this candle right here. That sell signal is not really having too much luck. Another opportunity right here. I mean, it's fine if it's invalid, but see if that's the case. So we need that sell signal. If we don't get that sell signal, then there's not going to be anything for us to take here. There's not even a V1 or V2 variation here for a buy, because we currently have a buy signal. We need that pending signals. We need that sell signal to close. Once we have that, we can start looking for possible entry. But right now, there's just nothing for us to take. Let's take a look at the technicals again over here. So looking over here on the 1 minute, price is currently bullish. You can see price is above the pivots. Trend meter is green. Pivots are angling up. We have the same thing over here on the 5. It's currently bullish. 10-minute over here, price is also bullish. 30-minute over here, price is also bullish above the pivots. Trend meter is green. Pivots are angling up. 1 hour over here, price is bearish neutral. And 4 hour over here, price is also bearish neutral. So it looks like price might be shifting to the upside. Well, the 1 hour and the 4 hour are currently trailing, but it's being led by the 1 minute over here. All right, still nothing here. Price is going sideways, as we can see. We need that sell signal. So until that sell signal comes up, there's not going to be any opportunity for us to look for any buys here. So we just got to sit tight and wait. Until this has been confirmed. All right. So no signals there at all. All right, here's some profits over here from Natasha. Natasha's currently up 1,088 for the day, all wins. Nice work right there, Natasha. So solid profits right there. The funny thing yesterday, Natasha was trading yesterday and she didn't realize she was trading gold, but luckily US30 was moving the direction of gold. And then she ended up getting her full TPs right here. So just be careful, guys. When you guys are taking trades, make sure to look at your charts, make sure you're on the proper asset. Luckily for Natasha, gold sometimes mirrors US30, usually goes in the same direction. So she was able to lock in profits, but just be careful, because that's happened to me before, where I thought I was trading US30, but I was trading NASDAQ. And the lot sizing is like way different. So it could have ended really bad. All right, still no entries for us here, guys. I mean, there's no setups here at all. Price is pretty much getting flat. Volatility is dying down a bit. Check the volume real quick. Yeah, the volume over here is starting to die down a bit. You can see over here is a bit volatile. And then you can see over here now that the candles are very small compared to previous volume. So no entry for us here, guys. Here's some profits from CERN so far. CERN's currently up 547 on his first account, up 537 on his second account, and third account up 734, all wins. So nice work right there, CERN. Some pretty good trades on your end. Profits added up pretty nice. All right, so let's see where I'm at so far. Let me just add up my profits for the day so far. 38.60, 37.60, 13.30, 13.30, 2.30. I'm up 11,610 for the day. So not bad. Only took 2 trades today, but they were pretty much solid. Let's see. Nick said I'm seeing 35 to 64 short. Yeah, or 36, just off by like one number. Because it's going to add up to 100, so it's going to have to be like 36 if it's going to be 64 short. Or if you're doing 35, it'd be 65 short. It just adds up to 100. So yeah, right now it's currently 64% short. So we're typically want to look for a buy here. Unfortunately, there's like a couple buy entries that are looking nice, but there's no pending buy signal here. So we can't take this right here. This would technically be an entry if there was a buy signal, but there is no buy signal here. We currently have a lower low. And you can see that the range is getting tighter. So price is starting to squeeze here a bit. As you guys can see, the range was pretty wide on open. And then now price is just going sideways right here down the middle, which isn't really the best thing for us because we don't want price to go sideways like that. If price is going sideways like that, then we might want to be looking for some SR rejection scalps. Which, I mean, there was one right here. This is actually pretty good. That was a good entry right there, full TP. Or actually, no, that one wasn't. Yeah, there's no rejections here. So there's a couple of rejections here, but they need to be a strong green candle. If you guys are familiar with the SR rejection scalp, this is a sideways strategy that we use. So you're looking for, basically a wick rejection off the SR zone with a moderate green candle. There's no rejections over here. Maybe this one right here. I don't even know if there's a zone there though. So there's no zone there. Oh no, actually there is a zone there. So there's an entry right here for an SR rejection scalp. There was a rejection off the zone right there. It was a moderate green candle. So that would have been an entry for a buy. Right there, I would have went straight to full TP. So guys, as I mentioned before, as we get closer to summer, the conditions in the market are going to change a little bit. If that's the case where the market starts to shift a little bit, then we might have to start looking for other entries. So what I might do here is I might set up a different chart. So for this chart over here, I might just set this up for SR rejections. I'll just leave this chart here for SR rejections. Because we can't do it on the same chart. There's just too much of a mess there. If we have everything all in one chart, like the SR rejection takes up too much resources here with regard to identifying these zones. That's just going to be super messy. So I'll drop the zones over here on the on a different chart. Yeah. So I'll just put the criteria here for the SR rejection. And we'll just look back on this here because there is good entries that are coming up. If the market starts to go sideways, then this will be the case. Basically confirmed trend, price over here is obviously, I'll just leave pivots 3 and 4 up because that's really what matters here. So there's a couple entries here actually that came up. There is this one right here. That's a main one. And I'll just keep drawing up the zones over here. So I'll leave this chart over here for just SR rejection entries. If you guys want to follow that, and then I'll leave the other ones for the other strategies. Because this one over here requires a little more. It requires its own page because we can't draw the SR zones for this chart over here. It's just going to get too messy because we're identifying the lower lows and the higher highs, and it's just not going to work out. So we'll keep those two separate. Here is the other chart. I'm going to go ahead and mark up. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. Mark that up right there. All right, solid. So price is still bullish, but there's no entries for us to take right now specifically. We're still waiting for that signal to come up. We need that retracement signal to confirm, but we haven't had that yet. Unfortunately, price is pushing up, but there's no buys that we can take right now because nothing's really lining up with our entries here. Let me go and adjust this real quick. All right, so as you guys can see right here, price is pretty much ranging. We need a sell signal in order for us to start looking for any possible opportunities. But right now, there's just nothing off it right now. We've been waiting for that sell signal for about an hour now, almost a little over 30 minutes. All right, there goes a pending sell signal right there. All right, pending sell signal. Glenn's asking, hey, Sean, can you identify entries from your other strategies if there's any? Yeah, I'm doing that, Glenn, but there's no entries for us right now because all the other entries require a pending signal. There's no pending signal here. So we need that sell signal. If this sell signal closes, then we can start looking for any other opportunities, but there's nothing here right now aside from the SR rejection scalp. That is set up right here. But we basically are looking for the sell signal here to close out. There's no opportunities here yet, but we will continue to follow here. Yeah, Cameron said it's rejecting off the Wednesday open right now. Solid. Yeah, so one thing that I've noticed from other people in the group is they just leave the opening prices for pretty much every day of the week. And they still act as magnets. So if you guys have tried that before, I do think that's beneficial. I think DJ used to do. I don't know if DJ is here right now. No, so DJ is not here right now, but what DJ would do in our group, he would mark up opening price from like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and he uses those as magnet points for price to trade from zone to zone, because price will typically go back to those opening prices, just like what Cameron over here mentioned. They're all relevant structure. So something to keep in mind over here. So if this candle here closes as a strong green candle, there's technically an entry for an SR rejection scalp. There's nothing right here now, but if it does close as a strong green candle somewhere over here, then there's possible entry for an SR rejection scalp. This right here, there's currently a higher high. So if this here closes with a higher high and a sell signal here that breaks and closes past pivots 1 and 2, there's possibly a high level momentum scalp. But again, you guys have to wait for the candle to actually close. I don't know if I'll necessarily be looking for this because I'm technically looking for a buy here. But again, if you guys are looking to take this entry, you have to wait for the candle to actually close because it's not, hasn't confirmed yet. It's a nice rejection across, pretty much all the time frames. So this might be a solid entry here. but it does not look like it's going to close. It has about 8 seconds left on it. 3, 2, 1, no candle there. So no opportunity there, guys. There's another one here that's possibly setting up. But as you guys can see, this is why I don't typically want to take these sells here unless it closes as a pretty decent candle. Because you can see how it disappears at the, well, I mean, it disappeared at the last 10 seconds there. Again, right here, maybe a possible opportunity if it breaks and closes past pivots 1 and 2 with the sell signal. If it does it, then again, there's just no entry here. So just got to wait for this here to close out. 30 seconds left on this candle right here. We got 20 seconds. Here's some profits from Ross. Ross is currently at 15,600 for the day. Nice work, Ross. Some pretty big wins over here for US30. Solid profits right there, Ross. Great work. Still looking for this to close. Got about 5 seconds left on this, but you got to wait for the candle to actually close, guys. All right, so it did close right there. Let me see if I get into this. All right, so we have the higher high right there, sell signal. I was waiting for this to happen right here, a little bit of a retracement. I'm gonna put a sell stop right there. I'm gonna catch it as it comes back down. So I got my sell stop waiting right there. I'm just a little more careful with the sells here because obvious, you know, everything here is very bullish, but it has to come back down. It's been pushing up for too long. So I'm expecting to push down at least a little bit here. Looking over here on the other time frames too, we had a nice rejection off this high point. Off pretty much all the time frames. That's established as a high point right there. And we'll see where this ends up going. All right. Take a look at the SR rejection scalps over here. There's no entries here for this yet. I mean, this wouldn't work out for an SR rejection scalp because everything here is kind of bullish. So if you look over here at the bias and the trend, it's still pretty bullish for the most part, but it is due for retracement. So my order didn't fill yet, guys. I'm going to move this over a little bit. I have a pending sell stop right here. It's waiting for it to come down, fill my order, but it has not filled it yet. I'll have to watch it. See if it fills. Almost filled right there, but it didn't fill yet. All right, the volume here has died down quite a bit. Looks like it's going to fill my order. Hasn't filled yet. It keeps bouncing off my entry point, so it hasn't filled it yet. I mean, it's attempting to, but so again, right here, guys, it hasn't filled yet. I'm waiting for it to actually come back down and fill it. Keeps getting close to it, but it doesn't actually come down far enough to fill the order. All right, let me check the volume. Volume over here is pretty much flat. As you can see, the volume down here is just super dead. So I'm not in the position yet, guys. I'm waiting for it to fill. I have a pending sell stop right here. The reason why I use a sell stop is because the bias over here is so strong for a buy that I didn't want to enter it right away. I know I didn't do that in the past, but I've been doing it lately because this is just the market that we're in, right? If market conditions change a little bit, you have to adjust with the market conditions. You can't just like do the same thing every single time because market was very volatile before. It was very trendy. Now price is kind of just flat a lot of the times, especially around this time, 7:30. So let's see. Satyam over here said he did not take it due to the bullish technicals. Yeah, no, that's fine. If you guys don't feel comfortable about taking a trade against the bias, that's completely fine. For this specific strategy, though, there's no bias. So, I mean, you can technically take it regardless. It's pretty much a quick entry. Still got my pending entry waiting to be filled. Looks like it's going to fill right now. All right, so I'm in the position now. Let it come down a little bit. If it ends up hitting my TP on TradingView, I'm going to have to manually exit because looks like there may be some slippage here. Price is coming down pretty nice. Closed out of it, guys. Hit my TP. Blasted right through it. So if you guys take the entry right there, there goes the first official entry for the day. I waited a little bit to take entry, but either way, if you entered it right away or you waited, would have been the same the same endpoint, still would have hit your TP regardless. So full TP right there, guys. If you guys took it, again, that's a high level momentum scalp. You identify the higher high right here, sell signal, broken close past the pivots. I waited for it to come back down for entry. Doesn't matter if you entered right away or if you waited like I did, you still would have hit your TP regardless. So full TP on that right there. I had to manually close out of it because obvious reasons. So, all right, there we go, guys. For you guys who made profit on it, great. Go ahead and send in your profits. Otherwise, let's wait for the next entry. All right, on to the next one. So as you guys can see, if you guys are patient and you guys wait for these entries, the trades will come. They're going to happen eventually. You just got to wait for them. And if they're a little riskier, you can always lower your lot size, or you can just do something differently. You can wait for a different type of entry to come up from there. So there we go with that right there. There's a possible V1 variation coming up right here as well. Yeah, it's a double body. It's a double body pending buy signal, possible V1 variation. I'm going to hold off on this. Actually, there's no V1 there, so it needs to close it as the double body. I just don't like the way the candles are currently moving right now, so I'm not really looking to take this. So I didn't get into this V1 variation. There is a V1 variation running though. Right there. I'm not in this one because the volume here is super low. For those V1 variations, you typically want to get in and out very quickly. The volume here pretty much died down a bit, so not in the position. I'll mark it up for you guys, but again, I'm going to give you guys a heads up. I'm not in this V1 variation. All right. So I just got a lot of stuff here to do anyways. I'm going to screenshot my profits real quick. My profits are sitting really nice for the day, so I'm not really looking to risk anything unnecessary. But we do have that V1 variation that's currently pending right now or currently running at the moment. I'm not in this position though, guys, so just a heads up. I'm not in that. Looks like price is likely to, I mean, it looks like it's retracing back a little bit, so I'm not looking to take any trades there specifically. Yeah, there's just nothing for here right now because price is just going back and forth. So it's not exactly the type of setup that I'm looking for. Here's Christian. Christian's profits for the day is at 1,390 all wins. So nice work right there, Christian. Took a couple of sells there or entries there that we took. Some more profits over here from DeJohn. 2 profits for the day, 2 wins. Total profit of 1,510 for the day. Nice work, DeJohn. We've got David over here. Total profit of $1, $2, $3, about $40 for the day. Nice work, David. Yeah, definitely. David's at small victories. Exactly. They're going to add up though. So eventually they'll add up higher and higher. Here's Eunice, total profit of 77.08 for the day. Nice win, Eunice. All wins. We have Patricia over here, total profit of 8,170 for the day. All wins. Nice work, Patricia. I like how Patricia here had the bias. So she's only been taking buys today, which is, this is basically what we'd be looking towards, right? Because the overall bias is bullish. So great work right there, Patricia. Total profit of 8,170. Here's Chow for the day. Total profit of 2,720. All wins. Nice work, Chow. So solid profits right there. Here is Natasha. Total profit of 1,328 for the day. All wins as well. Great work right there, Natasha. And we have Andy over here. Andy with a total profit of, I'll let that thing load a little bit. The V1 variation is still running, guys, on its way to full TP. Not in the position though, so it's all good if you guys are in it. Looks like it's about to hit your TP, and it just did. So this is why it's key that you guys look for a bias, because even though price here looked kind of iffy and the candles are a little bit slow, it did shoot back up to full TP because the overall bias here is bullish. Looking over here at the fundamentals, are currently up 200 points. Looking over here at retail sentiment, it's currently 64% short. And looking over here on the technicals, everything is pretty much bullish, right? Bullish on the 1, bullish on the 5, bullish on the 10, bullish on the 30, neutral on the 1 hour, and neutral on the 4 hour. But overall here, it's pretty much bullish. Bullish on the shorter time frames, bullish on the fundamentals, and bullish on sentiment. So with that said, you know, buys here should be pretty solid if they do come up. If and when they do come up, there just isn't anything up here right now. So until you get a buy signal here, there's no SR rejections for any buys. You need to have momentum in that direction. So if you guys took this trade, great work. I didn't take it, unfortunately, but it's all good. Glad to see a lot of guys here still profiting off, you know, my analysis here. So let's see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. Yeah, Cameron said he took it with a smaller lot size because of the buy bias, full TP. Solid. All right, Dejan. Dejan said, see you all tomorrow. Happy trading. See you back here tomorrow, Dejan, as we close out the trading week. CJ said the high level momentum typically takes longer to come up on Thursday. So I think we're good, pretty good for the day. There have been many times where we waited 2 hours for entry. Exactly, CJ, right? Sometimes we wait till past 8 o'clock for entry. There's a news candle right here again, guys. It's pretty much on the same price point. So I'll mark up news price right there. But yeah, no, CJ, he knows because we've been waiting sometimes and we've been waiting and waiting and waiting and the entries never come up. So good thing today that it did come up a little earlier for us because I typically hate trading after 8 o'clock. Okay, so if we get a strong green candle and it rejects off maybe this zone up here, or even the lower zone, any of the zones right there, there may be an SR rejection scalp strategy coming up right here. No V1s, pretty much just no V1s and no high level momentum scalps. There's a new lower low right here, but this buy signal did not break and close past the well, I mean, it broke and closed past pivots right here, but not with the buy signal. So there's no entry right there specifically. Yeah, not really too much here so far. So I think those are all the profits so far, guys. Let me take a screenshot of my individual profits. There's no entries for us to take right now. I'm looking for something here to come up, like hopefully maybe one more, but if not, I'm not going to force anything, obviously. Profits for the day have been pretty great, so I'm not looking to force anything too crazy. Just going to take these entries as they come. I mean, it's been a pretty great trading week so far. I don't think we had any losses this week, so we've been pretty solid. Closing out April on a good note. All right, all my MFFs are the same, so I'm just going to screenshot one. Partial profit on MFF again. All right. So here are my trades so far for the day, all wins. Here is my FTO number one, total profit of 5,660 for the day, all wins. Here's my FTO number two, total profit of 5,760 for the day, all wins as well. MFF number one, 2,030, all wins. MFF number two, 2,030, and my MFF number three, total profit of 2,030. So profits have been pretty solid so far for the day, guys. Yeah, no, they've been pretty good. All right, so we currently have the higher high right here. A new higher high. And we'll see if it holds. Put it down right there. Let's see, question from D. Sorry, guys, 1 second. My dog's like coughing. Sorry guys, I'm back. Had to check on something real quick. So question from Daniel. Daniel's asking if 730 was a pivot scalp. 730, which is right here. Yeah, it's a pivot scalp. So there's a buy signal right here that came up, valid buy signal with the trend bullish. So this right there was a pivot scalp. Right there. So yeah, played out perfect. Question from City. City's asking, are you still taking pivot scalps? I mean, I have so many strategies that I'm following, City. So if I see them in, maybe, but most of the time I don't really identify them. But a lot of other people in the group are still taking them. So not sure when's the last time he came on this live stream, City, but we haven't been applying the pivot scalp for like the past year. So I don't know. We haven't been applying on the live session. We're only applying one strategy. We're applying the high-low momentum scalp. So yeah, I mean, we haven't applied that pivot scalp on the live session for like over a year now. So I'm not sure if it's been that long, but I'm assuming it's been. Yeah, no, City said, oh, it's been some time. Yeah, because I think before this, so we were applying the high-low momentum scalp mainly for like the past 3 months. And then before that, we were applying the momentum scalp failure, momentum scalp variation. So we've been, I mean, the market's been changing, but all the other strategies still work perfectly fine. A lot of members in the group still apply the pivot scalp. I personally don't apply it very much because it pretty much aligns with other strategies. So there's going to be a pivot scalp. But if you look at the other criteria, there's another strategy that we've been applying before this specific strategy. It's called a momentum scalp, and it's literally the same thing. So you're just looking for momentum on like multiple time frames. It's like a pivot scalp, but there's more criteria to it. So instead of just looking at one chart, you're looking at about like 3 different charts. So technically we're still applying it, but it's just it's a more strict strategy. So it kind of like all of our strategies here kind of line up with like the original strategies. If you guys have been part of the group for like, the past 5 years now, you'll see that we have new strategies, but they're pretty much the same thing. It's the same thing, but with more criteria. If you guys remember the pivot scalps, I'll put a pivot scalp strategy here that City and that Daniel was referring to. This strategy is super simple. So you want to confirm the overall bias, look for a buy signal, make sure it's above the pivots. So if you have that right there, that's a pivot scalp, right? This one right here. But there's other strategies that line up exactly with it. So we have the pivot scalp there. We have the momentum scalp. We have the intraday scalp. They're pretty much the same strategy, but they change in degrees of strictness. So that's a pivot scalp. Here's the momentum scalp. If you guys put these alongside each other, it's pretty much the same thing. So you confirm overall trend. It's the same thing as confirming overall bias. You confirm a bullish momentum signal on the 1 minute. And on the momentum scalp, you're looking on the 5 and 10. So it's just a little more strict, but it's the same exact strategy. Barty is asking, Sean, I want to join your Zoom. Yeah, go on the website. So if you go on the website over here, Kodi Kai Trades, just click on Kodi Kai Live Trading Room, and you can get access to the Zoom. The Zoom's real time. So just an FYI, guys, if you guys are on the YouTube, it's a bit delayed. So you guys are kind of behind like by a few minutes. But I mean, it's not horrible. So there's a possible entry right here for an SR rejection scalp. Looks like hasn't hit TP yet, but basically, or maybe it did hit TP like barely. Yeah, not sure if anyone got into the there's an SR rejection scalp right here. That was currently running. I don't know if it hit TP though. So we're just looking back at this, guys, because this is a sideways strategy that typically plays out. There's a strong green candle right here. Depending on where the entry would have been made, it probably could have hit right there if it did play out. But there's just nothing for us to look at right here. Price is kind of just going sideways at the moment. There's a new high right here. So if that's the case and this establishes, a new high, I think this high will get broken though. So I think that high right there will probably get broken. Price will probably retest a little higher. It's actually another SR rejection scalp right here. I guess there's two that were running right next to each other. All right, so there's nothing for us to take right here, guys. We're looking for possible entry. There's a higher high right here. So if this here breaks and closes past the pivots, this is technically an entry for a sell using the high low momentum scalp. I don't like how the market was moving here though, so I'm probably not going to take this entry. As you can see, price is pretty much going, it was going sideways for a bit right here. So it was ranging and consolidating right there, which is not a good sign for this specific strategy. This specific strategy is a directional strategy. So if price is going sideways like this, probably not a good idea to take it. So I'm not going to take this entry right here, guys. I'm going to let it set up and then we'll see where it plays out. But I'm personally not going to take this trade right here because I don't like how the market's going sideways and how the volume has pretty much died down a bit. It looks like if you guys did take it, it played out already, or it's going to play out. Yeah, so I got it marked up right there. I'm not in the position though. All right, so let's see where this ends up taking us, guys. It's 7:42 right now, so it's getting really close to 8 o'clock. I mean, if this becomes a case where price just continues to go sideways, then there's not going to be any entries for us here to take. Let's clean this up a little bit. I'm not in any of these positions right now. Yeah, exactly. Eunice said it feels risky to him. So if you guys took the sell right there, it actually hit TP already. I'm like kind of kicking myself for not taking it. I should have just taken it, but it's all good. It felt risky to me too, Eunice, because the market's going sideways right here. But yeah, I think that's about it. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. It's getting close to 8 o'clock, so it's not looking like we're going to have any more entries here. I mean, we'll see if something else comes up, but for the most part, it's just not really looking too solid right now. We have the sell signal here. Price is kind of going back and forth. Let's take a look over here real quick. So let me just adjust this because we have a new higher high. Yeah, let me make some adjustments right here. Yeah, it looks like price might be retracing down a little bit because I'm looking over here. Price is kind of rejecting off like pretty much all the time frames right now. But there's no entries for us to take at the moment. Rejection right there on the 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, etc. All right, Maria, we'll see you back here tomorrow. Daniel's done too. See you back here tomorrow, Daniel. Yeah, if you guys are happy with your profits for the day, I would just wrap it up because it's getting close to 8 o'clock and it does not look like price is really moving smooth at all. It's kind of just going, back and forth for the most part. All right. All right, let's take a look at the everything again so far. So let's do a full analysis again. So looking over here at retail fundamentals are currently up 200 points. So they're still very bullish with regard to fundamentals. Looking over here at retail sentiment is currently 65% short, indicating that 65% of retail traders are currently selling right now. So you typically want to do the opposite and buy. So this has a bullish bias. This has a bullish bias. The technicals over here are still pretty bullish, but they're kind of neutral here on the 1 minute. So they're kind of iffy. Neutral here on the 1, bullish here on the 5, bullish here on the 10, 30 minutes bullish, 1 hour is neutral, and the 4 hours neutral. So it's pretty mixed right now. It's a mixed bag. Technically, the bias right now is still bullish overall because the fundamentals are so strong and the retail sentiment here is so strong, but the technicals here are pretty much mixed. So, I mean, price can kind of do a lot of things right now. It can kind of go back and forth. As you guys can see, price is just going sideways right now. There's not really much of a movement. I'll go and adjust this real quick. You guys can see the range. It's just squeezing. It's going sideways and it's getting tighter, which is not a good sign because, I mean, this is just, it's pretty much indicating that a breakout's probably going to happen soon. But it's hard to tell where that breakout is going to happen, right? Whether it's going to be to the upside or to the downside. I mean, realistically, price is just squeezing right here. So there's not much of anything right here for us to really take out of it. It's kind of just going sideways. All right. So I'm not really seeing too much here. Volume kind of died down a bit. The entries here are not looking so good. There's no lower low. In order for us to have a buy entry here, we need to have a lower low. So, and price is breaking, closing past the pivots right here. So it's not really looking too solid. Yeah, guys. All right. So if there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, it's not really looking like we're going to have any entries from now until 8. We need a new lower low until we can have something here. I personally want price to drop down a little lower because it's kind of high right now. So it's due for retracement. I don't want price to drop down a little lower, establish new lower lows, and then possibly make its way back to the upside later today. Let's see. Lucas said, set out of the last trade to preserve my day's profits. I think I'm off for the day. Thanks for the analysis today, Sean. Definitely, Lucas. We'll see you back here tomorrow. There's just nothing for us to take right now. Gosh, yeah. So City said when he's on his phone, when he's on his computer, it's a 40-second delay, but if he's on his phone, it's a 30-second delay. Yeah, no, it's a bit of a delay on the YouTube, guys. So if you guys are on the YouTube channel, just heads up, it is delayed. If you guys are on the Zoom, it is real time. All right, Satya, we'll see you back here on Monday. Holiday for you tomorrow. City said, thanks for the live. Helped me hit my 1% goal for the day. Happy trading. Definitely, City. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Let's see. Glenn's asking if the 744 candle is a V2 entry. Let me check. Yes, that was a V2 entry right there. There was a low here, a strong green candle. So that technically was a V2 entry. But it's not really good right now how market's moving. Price is kind of just going sideways, so I probably would have avoided it. But Sayim is asking if Monday's a holiday for us. I don't think so. Let me check real quick. So it's not a holiday for us here in the US, but it is a holiday for everybody else in Europe. So looking over here on May 1st, it's a UK holiday. It's a Euro. It's basically all Europe, GBP, Euro, German, Italian, etc. So it's a holiday for the European countries, but it's not a holiday for us here in the US. So the markets are still going to be open on Monday. Volume might be low, but yeah, so volume might be low, but it's still technically open for the US. So I am not sure what holiday it is because we don't observe that here in the US. But yeah, since we're trading a US asset, market will technically be open. Unless I see otherwise. All right, so there's nothing going on here, guys. As you guys can see, price is pretty much just going sideways. It's really just squeezing right now. So it's squeezing and preparing for a breakout. If there's any other questions, guys, feel free to put them in the chat. If I don't see anything come up anytime soon, I'm just going to wrap it up. I'm pretty satisfied with my profits for the day. I don't want to risk something that I don't need to risk. Yeah, my profits for the day pretty much added up really nicely. So for the day so far, let me just add it up real quick. For the day, I'm up 556.60 plus 57.60 plus 20.30 20.30 plus 20.30. I'm up 17,510 for the day across all my accounts, not individual accounts, but across all my accounts. So profits are sitting pretty nicely so far. So let me see if there's anything else here for me to look at. Some more profits over here from Christian. Christian is currently up 2,425 for the day. Nice work, Christian. All wins. So solid profits right there. Save that. We've got Nathan over here. Nathan with a total profit of 3,220 for the day. All wins. Nice. So Nathan let these run a full TP. Went straight to the profit target. So solid work right there. We got Eunice over here, total profit of 192 for the day. All wins. And we have CT over here, total profit of 3,000 for the day. Nice work, CT. Yeah, CT said not huge, but a few quick entries right there. Solid. So I think that's it, guys. If there's any other questions that you guys have, you can see price is finally breaking out of this range over here. And it looks like price might be retracing a little bit until it swings back up eventually. So, all right, guys, if there's any other questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, we're going to wrap this up for the day. I think we're pretty much solid. Let's see. Patrick said Kodi Kai are getting good stakes this week. Sean, good work. Right, Patrick, definitely. Every day for these two. But other than that, I think that's about it. Let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. Christian said happy with his profits. Have a good day, guys. Definitely, Christian. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Gactive said thanks. And I think that's about it. So, all right, guys, if you guys are new here and you guys want access to the strategies that we pretty much covered for the day, just go ahead and go to our website, kodikaitrades.com. Click on unlock your free access right here. If you guys click on that right there, it'll provide you access to the free intro course. This is what the course looks like again. So pretty much today, the main strategy we applied was the high-level momentum scalp. This is the official strategy. If you guys want to learn, that's under module 4. If you guys want to learn the other strategies that we discussed today, go down to scalping strategies. There's a high-low scalp that you guys mentioned today, pivot scalp that a couple of you guys mentioned today, triple confluence. This is a pretty good strategy if it does come up. Doesn't come up too often, but it does hit pretty often when it does. I don't think we've ever had a loss applying this one. It only comes up every couple times a week. Variation B1 and variation B2. So if you go down to the scalping strategies, look at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, top 5 strategies right here. And this is pretty much what we discussed. Also, if you want to look at the SR rejection strategy, that's one that is good during a sideways market. It's right here as well. Scroll up above. And that's pretty much it, guys. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. You guys can email me, Sean@kodikaitrades.com, or you guys can message me at Telegram @kodikaitrades. Couple more profits over here from Surin. Surin's currently at 1,422 for the day, all wins. Here is his second account, total profit of 1,433, all wins too. And his last account over here, total profit of 734. So great work right there, Surin. Solid profits across all of your accounts, literally. Nick over here. Nick is away by like $100 or like $80, Nick. So Nick said, want to stay on with me. Got to catch 200 more profit. I'd probably look for that bounce, Nick. I'd look for that bounce back to the upside. I think price will retrace down a little bit. And then if you get like a V1 variation, I think that's probably going to be the entry that you're looking for to lock in your remaining profits. The fundamentals are still up about 200 points. Sentiment here is down 65%. So I think price will push back up eventually at some point. But the thing that you want to make sure that you look for and wait for, Nick, is that you want to wait for an actual entry, right? Don't force anything. Don't try to play anything by ear. Make sure that you have some sort of entry, like a V1 variation, a V2, a momentum scalp, any type of entry that's like actually valid. So what you might want to look for is a high-low momentum scalps. Like you want to look for a lower low to get established and then a buy signal to break and close past the pivots. If that's the case, you can take it and then you can ride up for like a partial profit and just close out. I mean, you're only off by like a few. Did you make it, Nick? Or no, this is from today. I thought you made it already. Solid. So great profits right there, Nick. Nick's currently up 2,120 for the day. He basically needs to make about $80 to get his free retest. So almost there, Nick. So yeah, Nick said he doesn't have the indicator, so he's just gonna have to free ball it. I'm hoping you get the $80, Nick, because the $80 is not a lot, right? just don't over leverage it. So don't do anything too crazy where you over leverage it and then you end up doing something a little too crazy. All right, so price is still dropping right here. There's no V1s or anything like that coming up yet. Let's see, Martha said that she had her break even checked off. So she had some small losses there. Okay, guys, so if you guys have the break even option marked up, this is what Martha did. She accidentally had the break even thing marked up. So she had some small losses. They're not big losses, but basically her stop loss got moved to break even. And then due to slippage, of course, she has to pay for fees. That's why she had a small loss, $20, not a big deal. But just make sure that you guys have that either unchecked or you have it set to where it's not going to kick you out so early. But all right, guys, it's getting close to 8 o'clock. If there's any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'll see if we can find one more here for you, Nick. So I'll just hang on a little bit longer till closer to 8. But once it hits 8, I'm just going to wrap it up because I don't want to risk it. There's also news coming up right here at 8 o'clock. So you want to be a bit careful. Yeah, CT said break even on MFF means a loss. Yeah, exactly, CT. It's super annoying. If you get a break even on MFF, it'll basically give you a loss because the slippage, and it's not a good setup. All right, so this might be, or I don't know, the wick on top's kind of big. I was going to say this might be a push to the upside from this point here, Nick. It's a V2 variation. Yeah, Nick, there's a V2 variation right here. Not sure if you caught it, but this would have been enough to get your $80. Full TP right there. Hopefully you caught that, Nick. Did you catch that? Nice. So Nick caught it. Congrats, Nick. So Nick got his profit back. So Nick is going to get his free retry. So congrats to Nick over here. Nick was stressing over that. He said done. So Nick was stressing over that $80 he needed to get back to 100K. Got back to that 100K. V2 variation came up pretty solid. And then there you go, free retry. So you don't have to buy another challenge, Nick. Best of luck on the next attempt. But yeah, there you go. So, as you guys can see, like Nick over here had, like he reached out to me earlier this week. He said, hey, Sean, I need 4 wins in order for me to get a free retry. So Nick instead of getting 4 wins in one day, he spread them out to 2 wins per day and he made it right back. So nice work right there, Nick. Yeah, great recovery. And yeah, good luck on the next attempt. So guys, whenever you guys get close to the end of your challenge, there's no need to panic, right? Like Nick over here, he planned it out perfectly. Instead of taking like 6 or 4 trades a day, he decided to take 1 or 2 trades and then he made it right back and he's back in a profit. So there goes Nick. Total profit of 2,520 for the day. Icing on the cake right there. He pushed it up, locked in 400 on that last trade, and he's getting his free retry. So guys, your main goal with trading, trading with a funding company it's not necessarily to make huge profits, it's to survive, right? Because you guys can tell a lot of people do not survive with trading. If you guys can just take it steady and not like really force anything, you guys should be able to, and I have so many strategies here to follow. Like for example, this V2 variation, I don't ever apply this strategy, but I was trying to find Nick an entry to take because he needed $80 more, right? He just needed $80 more. So identify this as a V2 variation. Nick took it and then it went straight to his full TP. So I have a lot of tools in my tool chest here, guys. I have so many strategies here. If you guys just need 1 trade, you can literally follow any one of these strategies and you can make at least enough profit to, get you to where you need to go. Maybe not to pass a challenge right away, but it's enough to get you that little bump to get you to that next profit level that's necessary. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. Andy over here, some more profits on his end as well. Total profit of 1,602 for the day. So great work right there, Andy. And I think that's about it. Yeah, no, definitely. CJ said, love the K2 teamwork. Yeah, it's key. That was key there. But But other than that, I think that's it, guys. So, all right, guys, it's 8 o'clock. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Again, if you guys are new here and you guys want access to pretty much all of the strategies that we covered today and then some, just click on unlock your free access right here. If you click on that, it'll give you the course. I've been putting this course together over the past 5 to 7 years. So you guys will see every strategy that I've applied. If you scroll down, we have webinars here from 2019. I've been going live with you guys for about 5 years now. It's been a long time. We have a lot of strategies here that you guys can learn. Again, if you guys are new and you guys want to just watch the previous sessions, just go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/KodiKaiTrades. Make sure you turn on notifications right here and hit subscribe. If you guys do that, you guys will get an email from YouTube whenever I go live. I go live 5 days a week, Monday through Friday for live trading. And then I have a mentoring session weekly as well. If you guys go on this page, anything with the blue background is a previous live trading session. Anything with a gold background is live trading results from everybody in the group each day. For the green background is mentoring sessions pretty much for the past 5 years or so. And everything with the red background is a strategy explanation. So if you guys want to watch the videos here and review stuff, feel free to check them out. Just a heads up, we haven't had a day without people profiting for like the past 3 to 5 years now, which is crazy. I've been documenting everyone's profits every single day. And there hasn't been one day in the past 3 to 5 years where not at least one member has made profit in the group. So, all right, guys, other than that, I will see you guys back here tomorrow for the next live session. If you guys have questions, reach out. Otherwise, we'll be back here tomorrow, same place, same time.